free mind. You crazy for this. Soulful. It's like our responsibility to make us feel something. You know, to make people feel. Make people feel what we feeling. Hey, yo.
Reggie here, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This is the Ready, Set, Go preview show, a show that we do on Sunday nights to get the week started off on the right foot. And this show has been recognized as the best ongoing series by the comic book community. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we get into the show. But as part of this, I give you a preview of some of the content that is going to be released from the channel over this upcoming week. We talk about some news and current events, again, all in an attempt to get the week started off on the right foot. And if you are part of the live stream right now, I want to say welcome and thank you for taking time out of your weekend to join me and to join your fellow comic book soldiers and Gibbon Gang members here in the chat. If you're watching this on replay, I thank you just the same. And if you ever want to really have some fun, I want to encourage you to come out for one of the live shows, which at the moment take place on Sunday night and Wednesday. It is a good time. I will tell you, people show up 20, 30 minutes before the show actually begins, not in anticipation of me coming on, but anticipation of being able to fellowship with other members of the community. So I definitely want to encourage you to set your calendars and tune in and come to the live stream because it is a good time. So there's a couple of things that we are going to talk about over the course of this show. One of those things is whether Daredevil's rated R rating, technically it's a TVMA rating, is in jeopardy now that Bob Iger is back at the helm of Disney. This is a topic of debate right now, and I have some insight based upon somebody else's writing that may give us some answer to that. I see some people talking about the back wall back there. It is probably going to be changed. I think it's about time that we change the wall. So if you are in here right now, or if you're watching this on replay, sound off in the comment section in the live stream. Let me know what the theme should be for the next wall, because I have a hankering. I have a hankering to change that wall out. Let me go to the chat real quick to see who's up in here. Jason's in here. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Well, Boar is in here, probably freezing up there in the frozen tundra that is known as Canada. Randy, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Phil Tastic is up in here. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Trev, the shipping guru, is in the house. How you doing, brother? Todd is up in here. Thomas is up in here. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. How about them awards? Yeah, how about them awards? We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Victor Perez is up in the house. How you doing? Oh, he says a Wolverine. Ooh, a Wolverine themed wall. Have I done a Wolverine themed wall? I don't know if I've done. I think maybe I have. It seems like an obvious one that I think that I would have done. Chuck is up in the house. Chuck, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Chuck says a Christmas thing. Brother, I don't have enough slabs to hang up there, which means that I would have to go with raw books. And I can tell you right now for a fact that raw books look atrocious. They look atrocious on the wall because the wall is spaced for slabs. And so it looks underwhelming. It's underwhelming when I put up raw books. So I don't know. We'll have to think about that. Ooh, talk dirty to me. Woo, Jason. Woo, that has been a secret project that has been in the back of a short box for a couple of years now, brother. I've been pulling the 25th anniversary covers from the 100K collection for a couple of years. I think I've exhausted, literally, I've exhausted every possible one that is in the collection. The only ones I don't have, I need to purchase. And yeah, I don't want to buy them. I keep remaining. I keep imagining that more books will materialize in the 100K collection, but it does not work that way, Jason. It does not work that way. I do not have pre-code horror books enough. That I have one. It would be a naked wall, Joel. It would be a naked wall. I don't know if that would work out. Chris Bigger's up in here. Chris Bigger, you know that that's never going to happen. We're never going to do an all. No, that's teasing. Dang, Danger. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Third appearances. Steve, my sweet spot is first appearances, brother. Third appearance. I might have to dig deep for a whole lot of raw books in order to do that one. Phil Tassik's up in here. Action Figure Comedy is in here. Who else did I not say? Herman is in the house. How you doing? Colt is in here. It's good to see you. My man Doug is in the house. It's good to see you, Doug. Tina, the OG, is always in the house. Noggin. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you again. People show up, not necessarily for Reggie. I will tell you that. Herman says time for a Christmas day. A lot of raw books. I have half a short box full of raw Christmas comics that I've pulled from the 100K collection, or people have sent to me for videos that I've done in the past. I don't have enough Christmas themed books to that are graded to really fill up a wall. And like I said, raw books just are underwhelming. SSFX. No, I added an extra S in there. SSFX. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. I do believe you were the winner. You were the winner of the short box $100 credit. I am waiting for those guys to send me the code, and as soon as I get it, I will forward it to your attention. Joel, did you not hear me, Joel? No pre-code horror, which includes EC. It's like the same thing, Joel. You're asking the same question using the same words or different words to mean that no, sir. I have a single book. How about an 80s wall? I've done that. I've done an 80s wall. I think I've done a Wolverine wall. It is tough. The Care Bears. Oof, that Care Bears cover. Hard to find that Joker. Maybe a Stan Lee. Ooh, Turbo. That's what's up. I actually spoke about this. I spoke on it. I think I did. It was on the Instagram and maybe on YouTube. I can't recall whether I released it in both places or not. But it appears to me that only DC seems to care about the 100th birthday of Stan Lee. His birthday, I do believe, is, and someone fact check me, December 28th. He would be 100 years of age if he were alive, and it appears that that Marvel is not going to celebrate him. Given print lead times and all that other kind of stuff, you would assume that they would have had to announce something a few months ago in order to actually meet the deadline of December 28th to celebrate him, or maybe they're doing something digitally. Back in September, DC actually made an announcement that they were going to re-release, I think it's his reimagined, Stan Lee reimagined series that he did. It was a series of books where he reimagined certain characters, kind of like amalgamations to some degree of some characters for DC. They're releasing it as a prestige edition. I want to say it's like 96 pages or something like that. That's coming out. They announced that, I do believe, back in September. And at the moment, Marvel has been silent. I know that they did a deal to be able to use his likeness and things like that in theme parks and movies and all that other kind of stuff. But as of right now, I have not seen anything from Marvel that is designed to pay tribute to Stan Lee. So maybe we will do a Stan Lee theme one. I want to write that down. I mean, truth be told, that's really just going to be a bunch of, 60s books. I mean, essentially, that's what that would be, which is sort of easy for me to do. We need a Stan Lee biofilm, says Liger. That's what's up. All right. Captain Crunch. Ooh, not see. You guys like to ask me for things that I don't have. I don't have a whole lot of signed books. I am not Master Blaster. With the whole collection of Stan Lee ASM books. I only have, I want to say, one. I think I only have one Stan Lee book, signed book for ASM, and that is ASM 50. I think that's pretty much it. So I kind of like that. There you go. Is Master Blaster up in here? I know his wife is. There he is. The Blasters. The Blasters are in the house. All right. So let me give you guys a rundown of some of the content that's going to be coming out from the channel. I saw Neil up in here. Neil, it's good to see you, brother. We will make it to the range this week. Reggie was taking some time for himself. I had to recharge. I was feeling overwhelmed with socializing and just things that I had to do that I decided that I wasn't going to do anything I just decided I wasn't going to do a whole lot of stuff. Let me tell you that. Took time to recharge. I'm not 100%, but I'm getting close. Videos dropping this week. One of the videos coming out this week will be an opportunity for someone to get in the running to get a $100 credit from Shortbox. It's $100 for you to spend any way you want. You can even get a slab for $100, right? Because Shortbox has a wide range of things on their platform. You have an opportunity to get a $100 credit simply for watching a video from the channel and leaving a substantive comment behind. When the last winner won, I think there were only 38 comments on the whole video that have been watched by like 6,000 people. Your odds are good because people watch, but they don't comment, so it pays to play. One of the videos possibly on Monday will be it. So I'm going to be releasing a couple of videos this week. One of them is on comic book hacks. There are things that I do here in the comic book room that I consider to be hacks that I want to put out there for people that I think could be helpful to people, maybe new collectors, maybe newly returning, and maybe even some seasoned veterans as well. So we will be doing a comic book hack video. I'm also going to be talking this week about the rise and fall of modern comics. And this video idea came to me in the shower when I was thinking about a conversation that I had with somebody about some books that they were thinking about doing some things with. And so I decided to put together a video that looks at the rise and fall of modern comics, specifically a couple of comics that were high flyers. And the question is, are they still high flyers? Does it pay to buy the book when it's hot? Does it pay to wait? We're gonna peel back the layers. We're gonna look at some data, and we're going to hopefully maybe come away with some insight. Maybe we will see. We will see what people think of the video. Must have Spider-Man villains. As you all know, Spider-Man is my favorite character. And so we are going to be looking at some must have comics that are related with Spider-Man villains. And arguably, Spider-Man has one of the best rogue galleries around. And so we are going to take a look at a couple of books. I think I put 5 of them. In them. I definitely want to encourage you. If you watch that video and you think there's a villain that should be on the list that is not on the list, I want you to comment and let me know not just who the villain is, but the why. I want to know the why. All right. And like I said, in one of those videos, possibly on Monday, that will be your Shortbox giveaway video in which you can get a $100 credit. On Wednesday, we're going to be doing the Comics Today show. This is a show that we do on Wednesday to celebrate the best day of the week, that being New Comic Book Day. It is going down 7 p.m. on Wednesday. And on Monday, we're going to be dropping the podcast. My brother is putting that together, and he will release that, I do believe, around 10 a.m. on Monday. So I definitely want to encourage you guys to check that out. All right. So that's what's going on with that. I was not planning to talk about Stan Lee until a little bit later in the show, but I got frisky because someone brought the topic up. One of the things that I wanted to talk about, which is the thumbnail, is this idea of whether Daredevil's TVMA rating is at risk, whether it is in jeopardy now that Bob Iger is back as the CEO of Disney. Now, here's the thing. The previous CEO, who was also named Bob, was like, hey, bring on the rated R stuff. He was like, let's do it. Mature audiences. We want to cast a wide net. We want to put out some content there on the platforms, whether it be movies or whether it be on the Disney Plus app for a wide range of people. Not everyone wants kiddie stuff. Historically, Bob Iger, who has been the CEO for a couple of decades, is now back. He has always had a slightly different opinion. He wanted to keep everything family friendly, especially on the Disney Plus platform. But again, the previous CEO that was only in place for around 2 years put a parental lock on the Disney Plus app, put out this more adult content, right? And the question is Bob Iger going to unring the bell? Is he going to reset the baseline back to, PG-13 type stuff? And if you think about it, Daredevil is one of those shows that kind of lends itself to a little more violence. And so the question is it in jeopardy? The answer is no. The answer is no. According to some insiders, Bob Iger won't interfere with Marvel Studios' plans for a rated R fare like Daredevil Born Again. And of note, officially, the only movie show out there with a rated R designation, or a TVMA, which is the TV equivalent of a rated R, is Deadpool 3. That is the only one right now. There are rumors that when they work on Daredevil, they are aiming for a rated R equivalent, right? They wanted to make a little more gritty, a little more mature. And so we think, again, according to insiders, that there will be no change to Daredevil. And this is one of the things that a lot of people were concerned about. A lot of folks were concerned about whether Deadpool will be rated R. It is. A lot of folks are still concerned about whether Daredevil Born Again is going to be what we got on Netflix, which was amazing if you have not seen it. And so let me scroll through. There's a couple of quotes in here. Let me see. There's a quote here. You can see, to keep Disney family friendly, while current Disney CEO Bob Chapek wanted to add more mature content to reach new audiences, which of course he did during his tenure right before he was fired. But it says, after Chapek became CEO, he added Disney Plus's parental lock. Thus, Disney Plus added all new Netflix adult themed Marvel programming like Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica Jones. But now that Bob Chapek is gone, Iger is back. Will they unring the bell? Iger won't unring that bell. It's too late. Disney Plus subscribers have watched Netflix's mature Daredevil show. They won't reboot it with a watered down version. Again, this is all stuff according to insiders. The ending paragraph here. Insiders claim Marvel Studios won't shift direction with Daredevil Born Again. Furthermore, John Berthenthal's, I think that's how you say his name, once his Punisher enters the MCU, he'll have guns blazing and plenty of gore. All of this stuff that I just talked about a few moments ago is according to my friends over at Geekosity Mag. Mikey Sutton does a really good job of getting information from people that happen to be in the know. And while it may take some time for some of his scoops to pan out, they do tend to pan out. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to pass this on to alleviate maybe some concerns that people have, that now that Iger is back, we're going to get the Daredevil that we saw in She-Hulk, which was an okay Daredevil, but not necessarily what we have come to expect after watching the Netflix series, and that those amazing fight scenes, like the legitly amazing fight scenes that involve Daredevil, and I mean, honestly, Punisher as well. Just guns a-blazing, lots of gore, no doubt about it. All right, so let me go back to the chat real quick. What is that? All three of those Netflix series were needed to bring the street level heroes to the screen. No doubt, brother. And I think that they did a good job. I mean, a decent job. Some of course were better than others, but definitely not some bad stuff. JLS is in the house. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Joe says Punisher was a close second. Is that after let me scroll through. Is that after Daredevil? If so, I would agree with that. I think both shows were just phenomenal. I think they were phenomenal. Daredevil to me was the better show, but Punisher, man, that show was amazing. It really was. John he is a fantastic Punisher. Now, I did not like him as Shane on The Walking Dead, but I did thoroughly enjoy him as the Punisher. I thought he was amazing. 28-day fasting challenge. Reggie, would you do that? No. No, I don't. I believe that if your goal is to get fitter, to get healthier, then you need to have a healthy relationship with food by making sure that every meal is a combination of fats, carbohydrates, and protein. And so, agreeable, I will not be doing any fasting of any sort unless you're talking about the time in which I go to sleep and I wake up, and then I consume food. No, Reggie does not fast. I don't do that. We need another rated R brother, please. If they don't give us a Blade movie that is violent, we will riot. What was that? If you kill, was it not Merle? Was it Merle? Maybe it was. If they kill Merle, we riot. It was one of those brothers from The Walking Dead. So that movie has experienced the Blade movie all types of tumult, but thankfully they have a new writer, they have a new director. Fingers crossed that they are able to get that show or that movie back on track and can actually deliver it. Like the reportedly the original draft of the script only had 2 fight scenes in it. Like it wasn't lining up the right way. But fingers crossed that this thing is on a new fingers crossed that it is on a new path. Daredevil's number 1. Do not disagree with that. Do not disagree. Jessica Jones season 1. Man, what's crazy is my wife actually watched the first season of Jessica Jones as well. It wasn't about superheroes, not really. It was more about a chick that was pretty tough. You know, she liked to drink and curse a little bit. So anyway, Turbo Man's on board. Choreographing is a very important. Keep Daredevil consistent moving forward. No doubt about it, man. No doubt about it. I've been reading as of like a couple of weeks ago, because I took a couple of weeks off, but I was reading a lot of Daredevil stuff. I went back and read the Born Again story arc in Daredevil. I think it was like in the 200s or something like that. It was incredible. It was incredible. Like he had a major downfall. Wilson Fisk found out his whole secret identity because Karen was on drugs and selling her body. Like I didn't know Karen was doing those things, but Karen, like, you know, sold off his secret. I mean, it was amazing. It was an amazing classic Daredevil read that I thoroughly enjoyed. He is the best Punisher of the MCU. Best performance by far. Clap, clap. Scrolling through. Oh, Chris Bigger, you are a nut. Let me see. Bob Iger will focus on larger strategic issues than Daredevil. Well said. He is not a micromanager. Well said, brother, because there is something hopefully we will get to a little bit later in the show that actually might be a sign of exactly what you're talking about, Mark. I don't think that he wants to be in the weeds. I really don't. It seems like there are some changes that I think are going to be brought about at Disney where they're actually going to push more of the creative control back to the actual creators instead of where it was, which is under Bob Chapek. He had aligned it under this one guy. Like a lot of the creative decision making was under this one guy. And after Bob Chapek had been let go, they let go of this other guy, and I think they're going to push a lot of the decision making back to the creative level, like where it should be, instead of at an executive level. And they are saying that there are some restructuring changes that are going to be forthcoming at Disney as a result of Bob Iger being back in charge. So I think you're spot on with that. Scrolling down through some of Daryl. Thank you. It was Daryl. They killed Daryl, we riot. Thank you, brother. I was reading some news about that. 200 and I think it's 200 million dollars. The guy that created Walking Dead and a bunch of his producers are suing AMC for $200 million. They're trying to get some more money out of them. I guess they brought multiple lawsuits. I want to say going back to 2013, 2014, maybe 2017. And now at present, they filed multiple lawsuits trying to get that bag. Jessica Jones grew on me second season, not as good as season 1. I would definitely agree with that. Scrolling through, I don't know if that actress is ever going to come back. She had a baby and seemed like she was a little reluctant to come back. So who knows? What was that? Jessica Jones was a good show. Season 1 was very good. Season 2 was really bad. Jessica Jones season 1 was phenomenal. Purple Man was scary. There you go. That's what's up. Scrolling through some of the comments here, I am a little behind. Jessica Jones got the better half, really into Marvel. Everybody seemed to love some Jessica Jones. Okay, who knew? Scrolling through some of I loved Iron Fist. Says no one but his mother. Okay, says no one but his mother. That show, that was bad. At the end, I think he had the chi guns. Didn't he have like double chi guns at the very Thank you, Robert Kirkman. There you go. Robert Kirkman, Tyler Kirkman. I get them sometimes confused. But yeah, he and some of the other producers that are associated with that show are suing AMC for $200 million, which is a lot of money. Yeah, man. What is it? The Fear of the Walking Dead, which is like the prequel. I really enjoyed that. I only saw like the first season. I rather enjoyed that one. And I guess The woman that played Michonne and the guy that played Rick, I guess they're coming back for another spinoff. We don't know the details of it, but I believe that, no, I think this is like the third or fourth, brother. Like they brought multiple cases. Some have been dismissed that allowed them to bring others back because I guess they were dismissed without prejudice or something like that. Like, we need to talk to Joe. I don't want to get in the weeds on this legal stuff. I was only married to an attorney, so I'm not really actually an attorney. Luke Cage's soundtrack was fire, but that last season, probably those last maybe 4 episodes were hot trash. Hot trash. They should have stopped it at 8. I think that's what the writers wanted. It was 8 episodes. They were pushed to 13, and it was ungood. It was ungood. Oh, is it at the same time? Oh, okay. All right. Kung Fu. I defer. I thought it was a prequel. I defer. You guys know a lot more about some of this stuff than I. Jason getting on the board. What was that? Fear. The Walking Dead was okay in the first season, but Loft, I haven't seen beyond the first season. It was like a slow boil and I was like, I can watch this. All right. So for those folks that came in a little late, we've covered off on the content that's going to be coming out from the channel over this coming week. We also spoke about Bob Iger and whether the Daredevil TVMA rating, which is the TV equivalent of a R rating, was at risk, and it appears, according to Geekosity Mag, that it is not at risk, that it seems like they're still going to go down that same path. Again, all of this is unofficial at the moment, but fingers crossed that we get a more mature version of Daredevil in the MCU. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is something that was alluded to at the very beginning of the show. The Comic Book Community Awards went down yesterday, and I'll be completely honest with you, I was sitting talking with my wife. I took some time off to recharge the battery, which means that I need to reconnect with lots of things. We've been doing things with the kids this weekend. We've been doing things with one another, playing Uno, all kinds of stuff, trying to, get back in where things need to be because they were out of sync for a little while there. But the Comic Book Community Awards went down yesterday. And I do believe that this channel is the most winning channel ever. And it's only been 2 years, so I don't know what that says. But last year we went 4 out of 5. Last year we went 4 out of 5 awards, and I have the 4 sitting across the room. This year, I do believe, and we may have to fact check me, I went 6 of 7. This year. A lot of really amazing work went into this. So huge shout out to Brian, who is the person that is behind the Comic Book Community Awards. Shout out to his committee that was assembled that helped him do a lot of the things that had to be done. Shout out to all of the people that were nominated. Shout out to the people that announced the winners, because I think that they were based upon me going through this list. I have not seen the show myself. Again, I took some time off, but it appears that there were members of the community that announced winners. So shout out to those people. But a lot of amazing channels were actually nominated. Matt Woods is in there, Danny, both of which have been part of this show. Who else is up in here? DJ Lynx is up in there. JP Budget Collecting is in there. Bronze Age Nerd, Very Gary Comics, who I've gotten to know a little bit over the last couple of years, seen him at a couple of shows. Jim Mint is up in the house. Scrolling through, who else? Pressable Defects, Comic Tom, Swaggle House is on here. Breeze is on here. Philtastic, shout out to Philtastic. TM Nerdy, sorry about that. Rob Fat Stacks is in here. Scrolling through a lot of amazing channels, regardless of who won. I think it's important to acknowledge that a lot of work goes into just being able to make the list. Like, let's be completely honest about that. To just make the list takes some work. Shout out to who is it? Where is it? Where are they on here? Trev, the shipping guru. Shout out to you, brother. I saw your name when it was like, check that out. Comics with Bueller is on the list. Good friend of the channel. Master and Madam Blaster also announced the Stan Lee Award, and my buddy Travis, Comics with Bueller, was able to win that award. Huge shout out to him. But some awesome content creators across the board. that announced and also that were nominated and all that good stuff. So we were able to again win 6 of 7, I do believe. I was very confused at 6:40 this morning. I was like, did I win 6? Was it 6 of 6 or was it 6 of 7? How many? I lost a little track, but I want to say thank you to every single person that nominated me for one of these awards and or voted for me with one of these awards. It is incredibly humbling to win as many awards as I did. I mean, it is humbling. And as I mentioned in my Instagram, the last couple of weeks have been some tough weeks for me. And to win these awards right now actually does mean a great deal to me. So I wanted to say thank you for that. But I came away with Comic Book Channel of the Year, Most Entertaining Content Creator. This one is awesome. Community Builder Award. That is just amazing. Like it really is all about the community, and to win an award for helping to build the community, that is special. This show right now, the one that you're watching, Best Ongoing Series, amazing. We won an award for Ready, Set, Go Preview Show, Best Unboxing Video / Series for 5,000 subs and above. And then another huge one in my mind is the People's Choice Award. A lot of really amazing recognition for the channel. Huge shout out to every Patreon member, every Blue Wrench, every member of the Gibbon Gang, and everyone that considers themselves a comic book soldier. None of this stuff happens in isolation. None of this stuff happens just because of me. It happens because of all of you. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. And again, huge shout out to Brian and also the committee and the sponsors that made the awards happen for 2022. All right. There you go. Josh is on it. He says, congratulations to all the winners. You are all winners in my book. I appreciate everyone in the comic book community. It's amazing, brother, because you have a lot of people that create a lot of content for a lot of other people to be able to enjoy. And none of it's easy. Creating content is not easy. It's not easy to come up with ideas, to record them, to edit them, to release them, to market them, to read the comments, to interact. It's all work. And there are very few people that actually do any of this full time. So people are balancing careers and family and sometimes multiple jobs and military service and, just a plethora of things to put out content because they want to put out content, because they want to contribute, because they want to participate, because they want to be part of something. It is all amazing stuff. Huge shout out to everybody. Hulk smash it. Hulk smash it. I read Isolation 1 and 2, and Reggie is correct. The CBCA are not mentioned in Isolation. They are not. They are not. The awards are not mentioned. We did, however, mention the awards on the cover of the guide, which is available on regiecollects.com. Shout out to my co-author, Doug, for doing some amazing work on volume 2 of the guide. 88 pages of just dopeness. All right. Let me go off of that. So the Flash movie, a lot of controversy surrounding Ezra Miller. And a lot of people are asking the question as to why they have not dumped Ezra Miller. Why have they not dumped this movie? Are they still going to bring the movie out? The answer is yes. They are going to release the Flash movie, and they recently released some promo art. Let me see if I can find the right promo art is out. This is not it. But the Flash promo art gathers Batman, Supergirl to save the future and the past. And so I'll be completely honest. If you zoom in on this thing, you can actually see Supergirl right there in his silhouette and Batman right there. I'll be honest with you. I don't really care. I don't really care about the artwork. That is not why I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to talk about this because of something a little further down. Let me see if I can find the right spot. The director of the Flash movie explained that the storyline for the Flash movie will be the foundation for future movies about DC properties. Why have they not gotten rid of Flash in the Flash movie? Because this movie is going to be pivotal to what they are trying to introduce under DC Studios. That is the rationale. It has nothing to do with Ezra Miller. He just happens to be riding the coattails. It says this movie is a bit of a hinge in the sense that it presents a story that implies a unified universe where all cinematic iterations that we've seen before are valid. It's inclusive in the sense that it's saying all that you've seen exists and everything that you will see exists in the same unified universe. At the end of the day, this movie is critical because they are basically saying this is everything is continuity, past, present, future. It is all the same. And so that's why you're going to get multiple Batmen on screen. You're going to get Ben Affleck reprising his role, as well as Michael Keaton. They are both going to be in this one, from 1989 Batman, which is my movie, to the 1992 Batman Returns. You're going to get both of them because this movie is, again, a unifier of what they want to do. And if you've heard anything from from James Gunn and Peter Safran, they have been very consistent in saying that they are building a shared universe. They are building a universe in which everything will be brought together. And a lot of it is going to start with this Flash movie. And so again, people are like, what's going on? There is a reason for what they are actually doing. It also points out here that even though they have a Flash 2 movie script that has been written, that does not mean that they're going to go with Ezra Miller. And there's a pretty good chance that if they're creating this whole multiverse type of thing, past, present, future, everything is all the same, that we could very well, with Flash 2, get a completely different version of the Flash. And so people are like, bring in I think it's the TV version from the CW. You guys correct me on that. People seem to prefer that version of the Flash. It is a strong possibility. The Flash races, that's a little corny. The Flash races into theaters on June 23rd, 2023, one day before my birthday. All right, so there you go. That is what's happening with the Flash movie. I thought that this was a cool little story, so I wanted to kind of touch on that. Chris Bigger, you should be very happy right now. Where's Chris Bigger? In the DC universe, lack of continuity doesn't hurt story. Lack of continuity is well said, sir. Well said. But it seems like James Gunn and Peter Safran are trying to do something a little bit different. They are trying to do something a little bit different. So we will see. Wellbore, are you hoping for Wally West? Is that what you're hoping for? Wally West is going to make an appearance. Grant, there you go. I am very thankful for you all. I really am, because there's so much stuff that I don't know that I'm very thankful when you guys chime in and give me the answers. Any chances of Marvel doing a Miles Morales Spider-Man? I think that the odds of that are strong. I think the odds of it are strong. I think Miles Morales, given his popularity, given who and what that character represents, I think that there's a strong possibility that we will get a live action Miles Morales movie at some point. We shall see. Izzy, how you doing? It's good to see you. Just let this movie reboot and bring Grant in, says Chris. There you go. Scrolling through, Wally West. A lot of people shouting out Wally West will be the new Flash. Scrolling through. There you go. All right. So clearly people have a preference for Grant to come in. I find Ezra, he's super awkward, and it makes me uncomfortable that he's so awkward. At least, and I don't know whether that's how he actually is or how he's acting, or maybe a combination of the two. But whenever I see him, I feel awkward. I feel some kind of angst on the inside. So maybe just a cool Flash. Maybe a Wally West, this Grant guy you guys are talking about. Just give me a cool Flash where I don't feel angst inside because he's so awkward. I think Geekosity said the plan is to introduce Miles in Secret Wars. I missed that one. Was it from Mikey? Did Mikey say it? If Mikey said it, I'll believe it. No, scrolling through, I think Miles will be revealed in Secret Wars like they did in the Well, it depends on which Secret Wars they're doing. right? I mean, are they doing is it the 90s version or the 80s version? Which version of the Secret Wars are we going to get? That is kind of the question. Maybe they'll do an amalgamation. I don't know. Maybe I'll be completely honest. I never actually read the second Secret Wars. I never read that one. I'm the OG. I'm the OG Secret Wars. Jay Garrick. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing, is that there's a lot of Flash that could be brought in. Is it Flashes? Flash Eye? Like, what's the plural form of Flash? Flashes? That's probably not it. Scrolling through, any chance Robert Downey Jr. coming back to the MCU? What's bananas? What's bananas is I do believe that there was a fake story out there on the internets that Robert Downey Jr. was actually, and let me restate. There was something that appeared to be a news article that came out that I did not see verified in multiple sources that stated that Robert Downey Jr. was actually coming back for Iron Man 4. I did not dig deeper into it, but I did see that. It's amazing the kind of stuff that people will actually make up to put on the internet to get people to read it. And it makes things really tricky as someone that tries to report news, because it puts you in an interesting situation where if somebody's reporting it, you're like, is this breaking news? Is this fake news? Or is it just news that hasn't spread to multiple outlets? So there's this fine line. There's a fine line that I try to dance. Yeah. All right, scrolling through some of the comments. 2015 Secret Wars. There you go. 2015 Secret Wars. Flashy? I don't think that's right, Trev. But let's just oh my goodness, you guys, it's really not Flashes. You guys are just making words up. Oh yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that one. I know people are giving Ezra a hard time until it's proven it wasn't reverse. I was gonna make a joke because in the Flash movie, he is playing, I guess, an evil version of the Flash. And I was going to make this joke about, is that the real Ezra Miller? Never mind. Scrolling through. Yeah, maybe you Canadians up there need to get your minds back in PG-13. Okay. You Canadians scrolling through, read 80s and Hickman Secret Wars. Hickman was very confusing after reading the original. Dave, let's be completely honest. The original was not that great. Let's be very honest about that. The original was not that great. Parts of it were okay. Parts of it, ungood. Let me see. There you go. Okay, so you guys are giving me details. Maybe I'll go back and read it. Some of the comments I can't put up on screen, but I do find them fun. Well, boy, I'm joking, brother. I'm joking, man. You guys have fun. You guys are having a good time. There is nothing wrong has been said. And do you know how? Because if you do something wrong, Tina will get you long before I will. You are good to go. Let me see. Oh my goodness. I was going to say that. The Canadians are feeling super frisky up there because it's really cold up there in parts of in Canada. Let me see. I'm scrolling through. The OG 80 Secret War was made for a toy line. Exactly. It's made for a toy line because Marvel was trying to get that bag, and I respect it. These are big words. These are big words. But that's what happens when you rush something to print because you want to beat DC to the punch. Crisis is far better. I don't know about that. I think they're equally ungood. Crisis was okay. There were parts of it where I was like, I don't know what's going on. Tina does not play. And again, I am very thankful for some Tina. I really am. I would agree with that. The covers are dope. Love that scene in Secret Wars where, what is that? Herman, well done. Well done. You guys, It's a lot. I like comics, man. I'm not trying to read novels. I'm gonna just be completely honest with you. Crisis is definitely better. Trev, oh come on, Trev, turncoat, your turncoat. All right, let me move on. All right, so to the point that someone made earlier today about Bob Iger's return and how Bob Iger was not going to be micromanaging, worrying about the ratings or whatever of a specific movie or TV show or whatever it happens to be. He was going to be focused on bigger things. And I've been reporting that he wasn't going to do any major deals. That seems to be maybe that wasn't the full picture. And I'm not saying he lied. I'm simply saying that maybe the article that I was referencing at the time did not, or the author did not have the full picture, because there was a deal. There is a deal that has recently gone down that I think is kind of sort of a big deal. I mean, it's like $900 million. I mean, that's real money, right? $900 million. So this is the article. This was in multiple places. Disney buys out the MLB's remaining 15% stake in BAM Tech streaming division for $900 million. I'll be completely honest with you. I found this article to be, well, not this article, but this topic to be very confusing. It appears that prior to YouTube getting started, MLB actually started a streaming platform. And they started a streaming platform so that they could stream Major League Baseball on the internet. And this company turned out ultimately to be called BAM Tech. MLB had it. They sold part of it to Disney. They sold part of it to, I think it was hockey. I think they sold part of it to hockey. And basically what's been happening is that Disney has been buying bits of this company back, right? Because they owned a stake of it. They've been buying larger and larger chunks. They have now, I think, by buying out this 15% stake from MLB for $900 million, they now own 100% of the company. Now, why is this important? It's important because BAM Tech is the technology that underlies the Disney Plus platform and ESPN Plus and Hulu. I do believe that it is the platform that lies below those platforms. Disney did not develop the Disney Plus streaming platform out of whole cloth. They leveraged BAM technology to create their platforms, and now they own 100% of that platform. Now, as you all know, Bob Chapek was really focused on building up the subscriber base. He wanted to build the subscriber base to be as big as possible. And Bob Iger, now that he's in charge, he's like, nah, we want to build the subscriber base, but we also want this thing to be profitable, because I think that Bob Chapek was saying by 2024, we will turn a profit. He didn't say how much, but he said we'll turn a profit. I think Bob Iger, again, he is back for 2 years. His mandate from the board is to return the company, that being Disney, to its strategic focus, to right the ship, to get them back on course to making money, because that is, after all, what shareholders want. And so as part of that, I guess they've completed this deal for $900 million. Now, in all transparency, this deal probably started before Bob Iger was back on board, because you don't spend $900 million willy-nilly. So again, this article kind of goes through it. Disney now owns 100% of BAM Tech, the streaming technology service group that powers Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN, direct-to-consumer service. Earlier this month, Disney paid $900 million to Major League Baseball to buy out the league's remaining 15% stake in BAM Tech. All told, Disney paid $3.8 billion to acquire BAM Tech, now known as Disney Streaming. And this next section here actually goes through, how they went about doing it, right? It was in bits and chunks that they've been able to make this happen, going from 33% to 75%. Again and again, they've increased their overall share, and this most recent, again, it was rounded up to $900 million, but it's really $828 million is what the financial statements say for Disney Plus. In my head, I guess what this now means is that they are in a position to not pay I guess, fees to anybody else. They own the entire platform. They own the technology. They can leverage the technology for their various platforms and maybe even sell it to other people. I don't know if they would ever actually do that. One other little tidbit that I found interesting here is that Disney continues to own 67% of Hulu. I kind of sort of thought they owned the whole thing, but I guess not. 67% of Hulu, with the remaining 33% held by NBC Universal, which as of October 1st, 2022, was recorded by Disney with a value of $8.7 billion. And this next little bit talks here about how either Disney can buy out NBC Universal, or NBC Universal can actually buy out Disney. To either one of them, I guess, can own Hulu in its entirety. And I guess the big question is, will Disney try to buy them out and own the whole thing? And I think Bob Chapek was playing around with this idea of buying them out, but we will see what Bob Iger actually does. So that was an interesting article that I found that I wanted to kind of share with you guys. This was on Variety. I'm certain if anybody wants to read that article in its entirety, you guys can find it. First of all, Trev, you are correct. You, sir, are correct. That is why I canceled my Hulu subscription. I had that is a lot of chatter. Whether you're looking at, what was it, 828 million, or if you just rounded up to around 900 million, it is a lot of money, no doubt about it. But yeah, I did give up my Hulu subscription a while ago. I'm looking through some of the comments here. I think I'm all caught up. Let me scroll up to see if there's anything else that you guys were talking about. Nick, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream, brother. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Tina rocks. Yes, indeed, she does. Scrolling, screw $1 billion. All right, I think I'm all caught up on that one. All right, let me scroll back down. Good stuff. All right, so I wanted to make sure I covered off on that one. Again, for you guys that are coming in a little late, we have some great content that's going to be coming out from the channel this week. There is a really cool video that's coming out. Must have Spider-Man villains. It is a good video, I do believe. I hope you guys will enjoy it. We're also going to be talking about the rise and fall of modern comics, because a lot of folks have been talking about, what should I do with this modern book? Should I send it off to be graded or not? Should I hold it? Should I buy this modern book raw? Should I wait to have it graded and then pick it up? This hopefully what I'm dropping will help give people a little bit of insight into what to do with that. All right. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about is the other little DC news that dropped about the Blue Beetle. DC's Blue Beetle movie debuts a shiny first poster. A lot of people were speculating that we were not going to see this movie ever come out, given everything that has actually happened with folks being let go at Warner Brothers, the change in leadership there. But publicly, a lot of statements have actually come out in support of this, saying that they were indeed going to be moving forward with this movie. And now DC Studios has actually released the very first poster for the movie. The movie is going to be focusing not on the first or the second Blue Beetle, but they're going to be focusing on the third one. Robbie Reyes, I believe that's his name. Robbie Reyes is who they are going to be focused. I'm sorry. Jamie. Is it Jamie or Jaime? Jamie Reyes. I do believe that's who they're going to be focusing on. What's funny is I listened to a YouTube video the other day that a couple of Hispanic guys were talking about this Latin X thing, and they were like, yeah, we don't use that term. So I chuckled at that when I read it here in the article. But yeah, they are going to be making this movie. It is indeed going down. People seem to really be supporting this. And it says Blue Beetle is one of the few movies set to release that started production under DC Films before the company rebranded as DC Studios and went through an executive shift. The company is now run by co-CEOs James Gunn and Peter Safran. James Gunn, who is responsible for Guardians of the Galaxy. Peter Safran, who is the producer on the billion-dollar movie that was Aquaman, have begun mapping out the future of the cinematic universe. And again, a shared universe that they are creating. Gunn has revealed that he revamped the DCU, will connect across film, live action television, and animation. But not all projects released may connect to the same universe. Whoa, I'm completely lost on that one because I have not heard that one. Anyway, the Blue Beetle movie is coming out. Now, what's really interesting is that there's been some people out there on the Twitters that are saying, hey, if you're releasing the Blue Beetle, James Gunn, is there any chance that we are going to get the Batgirl movie released? And James Gunn appeared to be very clear that the Batgirl movie was not going to be coming out. There seemed to be a number of people that were saying, hey, can we get this movie? He is holding the company line by basically saying leadership has made a decision that that movie, the Batgirl movie, would not be seen. Unlike, again, Blue Beetle, which is a movie that from the very beginning they were saying was going to happen, same as the Flash movie. They were very clear on what they were going to do and what they were not going to do. And it's good, I think, for better or worse, that they are actually holding true to the things that they have said, which I think is wonderful. I was not able to make it through this movie. I think I watched the first maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then I had to bail. I had to bail on that. I'm pretty sure that they didn't, Chris Bigger. I'm pretty sure that they did not call you. Yeah. So I watched the Predator movie, and it was okay. We spoke about that. It was okay. I then at the urging of one person, I had a person that kept reaching out to me. It was like, hey, have you watched the Hellraiser movie? Hey, have you watched the Hellraiser movie? Hey, when you watch the Hellraiser movie, can you let me know what you think? So I broke down and watched the Hellraiser movie. It was painful. The Hellraiser movie was painful. It was excruciating. Do not watch that movie. I'm going to just say it right. Do not watch that movie, because it was, if there were a level worser than ungood, it would be several levels below that. It was not a good movie. Do not watch it. We have not, the Canadians are coming out. The Canadians are coming out in droves. I absolutely love it. Shout out to all the Canadians up there. Hope you guys are doing well. All right. So the very last thing that I was going to talk about was something that I ended up talking about earlier in the show. And it was this idea that it appears that Marvel is not going to be doing anything special for Stan Lee. At least that's the way that it seems to me. And I keep asking people, if you've seen anything that shows that Marvel is going to pay tribute to Stan Lee on his 100th birthday on December 28th, please let me know. I have not seen anything. I've seen nothing. Someone did send me a clip earlier of, it appeared to be a con that Stan Lee's organization or somebody associated with it set up a kiosk where you could actually sign your name and write a message to basically pay tribute to Stan Lee. That is the only thing that I've seen publicly out there. The other thing that was announced back in September was the fact that DC was going to be releasing a prestige version of some work that Stan Lee did for them back in the day. I think it was like 2012. They're going to release a 96-page one-shot in prestige format to pay tribute to the late creator, who would have been 100 years of age on the 28th of December. So some people have recommended that maybe I do a Stan Lee tribute wall. I need to give some thought to that, because that might be a nice way to actually pay tribute to him. We shall see. All right, let me go to the chat real quick, and then maybe we will wrap this thing up. I've not seen anything, but I think we're going to get a surprise for. Now, here's the challenge for all, is that if they were doing it in print, it would have had to have been done already, right? Because they would have had to do solicitations and announce it. I haven't seen any solicitations to that effect. But again, you maybe we'll be surprised. Maybe they'll do it digitally. Maybe there'll be something unexpected. Who the heck knows? Who the heck knows? The Christmas special that I could not get through Guardians of the Galaxy, that would have been a great place, but I haven't heard anything about that. Izzy says it was New York. Was it you that sent it to me from LA Comic Con? Was that you that sent it to me? If so, thank you. Dave, I'm gonna write this down probably for the fourth time, brother. I'm gonna write this down for the fourth time. And you know what? I have been scrolling through Netflix, Disney Plus, Prime, several other platforms for movies to watch, and I have not seen this movie, because if I had, I would have remembered. I do believe. But Bill Paxton, I'm gonna search for this tonight. I'm gonna search for this tonight. That way, I can answer you the next time you ask me this question, because I want to be prepared. I like to be prepared, and I am not at the moment. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Michael, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. They got to do something for Stan Lee. I'm sure they will. Fingers crossed that they do. Maybe they'll watch the channel. And do something. Scrolling through some of the comments here. The first Stan Lee Lifetime Achievement Award winner. Hey, I will carry that torch and I will run with it. Mostly just trying to keep it away from Bueller. Mostly just trying to keep it away from Travis, who is now the newest recipient of the Stan Lee Lifetime Achievement Award. Shout out to him from the Comic Book Community Awards. My buddy Travis actually won the award. I think he only won it because I wasn't in it. I think that's why he won it. But shout out to him. Scrolling through some of the comments, y'all seeing what you guys are talking about. Reggie, watch it. I'll lend you my DVD. So for me to watch a DVD, sir, I must watch it where my children watch movies. That's not a good environment. It's not a good environment. I have to cross that area in as I make my way to the comic book room. I don't know that I want to spend any amount of time really in that area. My children use my red Gibbon tape like their dad has 500 rolls of it. Like there's tape everywhere. Like I don't even know where they get it from, but they find tape and then it's like everywhere. It's just, I guess that's what children do. Scrolling through. All right. I think I'm all caught up. I don't know, brother. We're the most winning YouTube comic book channel out there. We won 4 or 5 awards last year, 6 or 7 awards this year. Yet we are not at 20,000 subscribers. And I say that in jest. There are a lot of channels out there that are much larger than this channel that have built their following through a lot of effort. I have built what I have with a lot of effort and with a lot of support from you guys. And I'm very thankful for every single person that chooses to subscribe to the channel, that chooses to tune in for the live streams or watches videos, comments on videos. I would love for the channel to be a lot larger than it is. But honestly, Brandon, I am thankful for everything that I am thankful for everything that I have, minus packing peanuts. I don't want those. All right. Anyway, a lot of really great content coming out this week. We're going to be doing a video on comic book hacks, things that I do here in the comic book room that I think might be helpful for people out there. We're going to do the rise and fall of modern comics this week. We're going to look at some specific examples of comics that have flown very high, that may or may not have crashed in value. I'm going to ask some questions. We're going to look at some data. Maybe you will come away with some insight that will give you some assistance as you make decisions for your own collections. We're also going to be looking at some must-have comics associated with Spider-Man villains. And then, of course, we're also going to be doing the Comics Today show on Wednesday. And then the podcast will be coming out as well. The podcast is available on your favorite podcasting platform. All you have to do is to search for Regie Collects, and you will find hundreds of shows there for your listening pleasure. With that said, we're going to wrap this up. I want to thank each and every one of you for hanging out with me. If you enjoyed this show, I want to encourage you to go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. If you're watching right now and you have not subscribed to the channel, I want to personally invite you to go ahead and tap that button right now. Turn on notifications, and that way you won't miss out on any of the content that I release here from the channel. And if you need to reach out to me for whatever reason, feel free to do so on Instagram at Regie Collects. Take care.
My body ate itself until it found its passion. They got fat while we starved, but it's power in fasting. Until I turn to ashes, I remain stoic through my rap heroics. I painted 10,000 poems, then I drank the potion of poetry and motion. I started choking, it was potent. My throat chakra downloaded, knowledge hungry. I was embarrassed I could ask my parents for money when I had a full tummy. So I asked for wisdom, better than crypto, sweeter than honey. I don't take it for granted, I don't wear capes and masks.